Y'all better think of something quick.
Y'all, this still podcast. Why are you asking me? I'm just the guest. I didn't even get a green room or some snacks. Where's the hot Cheetos?
I feel like we should discuss how the Black simmer community is not as represented and needs to be addressed. And we have a few things that we need to talk about that people should, one, understand from our perspective, but also just like be aware about it.
Yeah.
You know?
This episode is going to have so much weight. This just needs to be said because it's just not talked about as much. Like we only talk about it when something goes wrong. That's why we need to just get this up so everyone can hear it and know like, this shit needs to stop because every single year we have this problem. Somebody wants to start an awards show and next thing you know, Black Simmers aren't nominated. There's always something every fucking year.
And it's like, how did this list come to be?
Right.
Who was it? And then they want to backpedal, you know?
One person can't nominate people. It needs to be a group of people.
And it's like, if you're going to put a big name on like Simmers something or Sims community something, it has to be the community because the community it's so huge. It's huge. Okay. It's too big for one person or a group of people to make this decision in such a short amount of time.
Agree.
And that's how you know it's not, diversified. Because like if you're making the list, the one thing that should go off in your mind is like, wait, there's something wrong here.
Right.
There's something wrong here.
Exactly.
And it shouldn't just be like a second thought, oh, we need to put, more people of color simmers in here. It shouldn't be a second thought at all. And when you try to change that and you go back and it's like, okay, well, we're going to do this now. We're going to include these people. It just brings like the weight of it down because now it's like we feel like we are whining too much or other people feel like, oh, they're just whining because they're not included. It's not about our names being on there. It's about us feeling welcome in a community that we're a part of and not having to fight tooth and nail for the representation that some people just get automatically.
Exactly.
We're not even asking to win. We just want to sit at the table. And us having to fight, it gets tiring sometimes. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna still do it, no matter what. Because what's wrong is wrong. And if something wrong, it will always come to the light. Even if we have to drag it down ourselves, we will bring it to the light.
Damn, that was well said. I'm so glad I've been recording this for 20 minutes. No, I'm telling you, I'm recording everything. And if I have to piece it together like cut and paste, I'm going to fucking do that.
You're going to be in audacity like, Lord Jesus, how long I've been editing? 6 hours? Okay, break time. Let's go eat.
I mean, if we do this whole podcast and then do the intro at the end, all I got to do is flip it and we're done.
Yeah, you don't have to do it in chronological order. You don't have to do that. I'm just learning that now. I'm just learning. You ain't got to do it in chronological order. No linear editing here.
No one's asking to win,
Right. We just want to be included and acknowledged.
And for a short list, a very small list that fit in a small little box for as like hundreds of thousands of simmers on both sides of the aisle and table and over the world, that's unacceptable. It's very unacceptable. It is not the first time and it's not going to be the last time. That's the sad truth.
I know that there was an incident on Facebook in the past, but I don't know of it. What exactly happened?
It was the same thing. Basically, I don't know, it was like a award show or a simmer just posted like a poll. Yeah, it was a poll and everybody voted on their favorite simmer. However, the person who put up the poll only had, you can guess what happened. No POC simmers were on that list.
It was like all like the top YouTubers, streamers, whatever. It was just none. We weren't really included. And it got backlash, of course.
There's no excuse, though, to not include people of color, considering that some of those creators are some of the biggest creators right now. So there's literally no excuse for it.
And it's like, it's not diminishing anybody who's on a list at all because everyone works for what they achieve. We all are on the grind to be something on the platform and the community. It's just, what are you to do when you fight so hard and then you're not even thought about? You're an afterthought. And when you say something, you're like dwindled down to like, why are you even speaking about this? Or you're just crying about why you're not included. And it's like, we're crying. We may be crying, but we're crying for everybody. What? And we're not crying. We're shouting, honey. We're shouting to the roof.
And there's a fine line too, like a difference between, wanting something that's right and then complaining about it. It's just not right. It's not like, something senseless. Like this is such a big issue.
Yeah. And it's not just, POC, like Black people. It's like all minorities, everybody of different sexualities. It's just when will we have to, stop going through this every year? Like you said, Matt, every year it's the same thing. There's something happening. And every year it's the same topic that brought up. But it's only brought up when something like this happens and the first person speaks. And then it's just a snowball effect.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then one of the things I did not like is like maybe next year when people were commenting or adding their favorite creators to the poll was like maybe next year. Why do we have to wait until next year? And I said this in my tweet. Why do we have to wait until next year? That's 365 days. It's like now it's like an afterthought now because you're putting them in because we spoke up. And it's like you're just giving it to us. You're just giving us a seat now so you can appease the masses.
Mm-hmm. I feel there should never, ever be an award type of thing for Sims, period.
Maybe there could be, but the process should be longer and more transparent.
And it should involve more people. I saw one tweet from someone saying that like this type of thing should have submission bubbles where we all basically put in our favorite creators and it basically goes off of votes. That way everybody is included, it's unbiased.
Yeah.
Yep.
God, I keep running out of characters. I'm trying to say something good on Twitter right now. It's pissing me off. Y'all have this issue a lot too.
Yes. You keep looking at the little dial. It says it's getting red. You're losing characters. And you're like, fine, I'll just add a new tweet. Okay, fine.
That takes too much work because you got to break it all up and everything.
And now I'm like trying to condense it down, changing ONE to the number 1.
Deleting spaces and putting words closer together. Looking at like, can I delete this? Okay, let me delete this word and this sentence. That's good. Okay. You should just, some people just go in their little iPhone notepad and just write it down and post a photo like, here you go.
I finally got that tweet down to the character level. But I had to make myself look like a fool. I had to make myself look like a fool to do it. I'd be shortening words like about is ABT.
I'm going to say, what is this tweet? No, I'm joking.
Okay, I see it now. I see the about ABT. They only knew how much you sweat to put this together. I heard the clickety clacking.
My underarms are wet right now. But it's true. Nominating someone who's LGBTQ, which is a minority, doesn't make this situation better. And it's not an excuse to not nominating Black simmers, because it isn't about LGBT people.
Mm-hmm. All right, Steven, what's next on the list that you got? What's the next talking point?
Oh, God.
Because if we don't, Matt's going to be like, I have 8 hours of footage to cut down.
That sounds like a full work day.
That's two full work days. Because you got to put in the sound effects, the music. Yep. You got to make sure the audio level is good. Then you got to wait for, are you putting this on Apple?
We'll get it on iTunes and stuff after we figure out how the to do that.
Yeah, I'm working on that, actually.
Format.
Get it all together.
Pat your shoulder over the internet.
I got
Good
it.
luck, buddy.
I'll get it figured out because I have my own music that's on like iTunes and Apple Music. So I'll figure it out. Even if I got to hack into their shit, I'll do it.
Apple will be like, what is this? Is this Tumblr again? Trying to hack it?
We didn't ask for this.
They're going to be like, is this Tumblr again? Trying to get back on the App Store?
Delete.
We can't be name dropping people.
Yup. We gotta go up to a 10, bring it down to an 8, and then cut it off the top to a 6. Bruh. When will we not have to do this every year?
Right.
It's 2018. Like
it is.
And you know what I hate? I hate when people are like, it's 2018. Racism died a long time ago. No, it did not.
Where?
Right.
Let's get a globe. Where?
And the fact is, we still have segregations in literally in the United States still. But people still say, oh, we're all equal. No, we're not.
Where? This is Sul After Dark. There you go.
Honestly, so true.
Sul After Dark. Let's get it.
Demonetized. YouTube gonna be like demonetized.
It's gonna be like that. That's the sad part.
Right.
YouTube will look like, all right, it ain't about us. They good.
Let's see. what is a good positive thing that we could talk about? That's
still relating to the topic.
Yeah, that's true. We can talk about Mira and how she has done a lot of things. She basically changed the game. She literally did. That one tweet, I don't know who it was by. You know that one promotional video that someone made a long time ago about Mira?
I remember that.
When I first discovered Mira 2 years ago, probably. And I was like, who is this person? And I'm like, let me check it out and see what's what. I was like, wait a minute. Really? There's more people like me. And I was very happy about that because before I never really made like Black Sims, or I did, but not to the full extent that I think I should. But I hardly ever made like, Black Sims because I just never really had the type of content in my game, or I never really knew where to find that stuff. And until like recently, like 2 years ago, I was like, I saw that tweet. Let me search some more. Went on Tumblr, found a whole list of stuff, found the Black Simmer Facebook, found the Black Simmer, CC Finds on Tumblr, all the things. And I was very happy about that because I can finally make people who look like me, and I can finally represent my type of community, but still with my play style and be comfortable about it. And to show that I care, basically. Because I've gotten people in the past saying, oh, you're a Black Simmer. Why don't you make these type of people in your game? Or that doesn't look like somebody in your community. I'm like, I didn't know. I just didn't know anything about it. Like I didn't have the type of content in my game because I just didn't have the type of CC, or I didn't know how to create people like me to represent.
Yeah.
So it was kind of hard. But now I know, I'm now more aware. Like I did my research. I went through, like I researched to the T to find the things that I wanted, but also needed to have in my game to just share with my audience.
Yeah. Yes. Props to Mira, because I've played The Sims since I was 11 when my mother wouldn't let me have The Sims 2 University because it was T for teen. That means you had to be 13.
Me either. I had to sneak that shit.
Yes, Mike. Shout out to my great grandma. Her and my cousin went and got it for me NC ways. And I did not know anything about CC or mods until I discovered Mira. And that was 2 years ago. I played the game. I took, the normal monthly breaks because it was like, okay, what now? I only thought, the clothing and get from cast and the items you get from Bill Bimo, the only things you can have in game. And she really opened my eyes to like this whole other side of the community. And Mira was, the motivation that gave me to start my own channel and things like that. So it like CC brings the world together. It does.
It literally does.
Custom content brings the world together.
And we can also discuss about Alpha versus Max's matchup.
Oh Lord, no. If you play, you like what you like, nobody's gonna come after you in your own game, honey. Okay, we all like.
It's all personal preference. It's all subjective. Yeah. There's no fact. There's no right or wrong. Everyone just has their own play style, and that's one thing that I love about the custom content community. And yes, I say community because they are a whole community of itself.
Right. And I just don't understand why people gotta bicker about some stuff. Like if your game can't handle it, so what? It's my game, not your game. Leave.
Yep. We're all from different walks of life. We play different ways. We live our lives differently. I paid my own money. You paid your own money. I downloaded this on my bandwidth. You downloaded it on your bandwidth. My hard drive is full. Your hard drive is full. Let's just let's just go to our separate ways. Okay.
And honestly, this is I've always wanted to make a podcast about something, but I didn't know. But this is the podcast that needs to be out there and needs to be heard, and people need to understand
exactly
and learn and be aware
that it happens. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it does not happen.
Right. And we got the audience, we got the numbers, we got the things to prove that we know what we're doing.
We have a platform.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And that's our job as people, a group of content creators that have a platform, is we have to use it for good and we have to use it to spread positivity. And yes, we're kind of upset about what happened and, we're so quick to point fingers and stuff. But the whole point of this is to raise awareness for the situation and that, people, no matter what their skin color, sexual orientation, they need to be represented. It's just sickening at this point that this literally happens every single year. And it's just still still happening. Like, it just needs to stop.
Yeah. But the world right now, this is too much to handle. And like, I just don't understand why the world has come to this. Like, I was going to say we had simpler times, but we never had simpler times where everyone was equal or happy. No, we never had that. So like, who's going to be the right person to make it all stop? No one. Because Rome was not built in a day. One person can't change a lot, but you can spread awareness and see how you can change it in your own community. And that might possibly spread around the world, and that might potentially change something, but not all, because not all people are willing to change. They're always like focused on their values, their own community, and they don't want other people in.
At a certain point, you just gotta put down the social media, take a few steps back, reflect, and still keep your mouth shut.
So if you guys could shout people out or shout groups out, who would it be and why?
The Black Simmer Facebook is a good place to go, just because, one, we don't exclude people. We're open to all people, no matter what content you make. It can be white, black, whatever. We're open to all, basically.
There's Kia, Alexis Ariel, of course, Mira, D-Sims, Zarela. Help me out.
Kawaii Stacy.
Yep.
Sims fan. That's a good one. Ocean Sims. Definitely.
You mentioned Kia, right? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Okay.
Yeah, we did.
She's my favorite.
Yeah. It's so sad that Twitch no longer has the communities, because we could have went down the community, the Black Simmer community list.
Mm-hmm.
There still isn't a people of color tag, is there?
I don't think so.
On Twitch.
Lucky Girl B. That's another one.
Even those who are in the comments, like, shout them out, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's another
Sim Live in Color.
That's a great idea. Oh my gosh. Anyone watching this, if you are a person of color, whether you're just someone who watches videos or if you're, a creator, put your channel down in the comment section below so that anyone that watches this can go subscribe to you and watch your content.
Yep.
Exactly.
Even if you just started out, we all started somewhere.
Right, exactly.
We're all about including, shouting people out, everything.
Yeah. And it's not about having, 10,000 subscribers, 1 million subscribers. It doesn't matter what your subscriber count is. You create content. So that's all that matters. Your voice deserves to be heard. It doesn't matter what color your skin is, what your sexual orientation is, where you come from, what you look like. You're a content creator. You have a voice. That's how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not afraid to do it either.
That's the most important part.
The moment you step into this public sphere of content creation, you will get so many racist tweets, comments, people trolling in your live chat. Don't let that get you down. Do what you want to do. Do you, boo. Just do you.
Well said.
And don't be afraid.
And if you ever feel down, upset, unmotivated, and just don't feel like you're doing enough, come to Twitter. Go to Twitter, tweet your favorite creator, tweet somebody, tweet the gurus or whoever that you look up to as, a motivation to help you create. Tweet them, tweet us, tweet someone. We're always here to help no matter what. And we're always here to give advice. And if you ever want to join, the Black Simmer Discord, which will be in the description below. Join that. There's a whole bunch of other Simmers throughout the community that are willing to help and support and love your content.
Because most than likely, we've all been there before. And, there's also the Cookout as well, which is a community for Black content creators, not just for the Sims. A lot of Simmers are actually in that group, myself included.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, so shout yourselves out. Don't be afraid, honey. Shout it to the world. You gotta promote. When you first start, you gotta promote yourself. So shout it out.
Shout it to the heavens.
Let the gods hear you. whoever you worship. Okay, it could be Satan for all I care. But shout it to him too.
Remember, this is all about inclusion for everybody. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yep. Doesn't matter.
Right. Oh, well.
That's the reason why I wanted to make this in the first place. It's just because my platform is just built on inclusion. I'm not a person of color. I'm not a content creator of color, but it wouldn't be right to not make this video because I'm just so tired of seeing all the racist bullshit.
So am I.
Yeah, and that matters to those who also advocate for Black content creators. That's something to clap about, because we need everybody to speak up no matter where you come from. Everybody has a voice.
Exactly.
So thank you, Matt. Thank you to all of those who speak out. Thank you to all of those who, put their 2 cents in. Even if it's 2 cents, it's worth something.
It's all going to add up to $1 million.
Yep.
Exactly.
And we're all going to be rich, Get your
It
coin.
just feels like the right thing to do, because especially being raised in a racist household and just having that negativity fill your life as you grow up, it feels right now to do what I'm doing and to help promote the people that deserve to be promoted.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
They could be watching this right now. Most of my family, especially my father's side of the family, that's part of the reason why I haven't talked to him in almost 4 or 5 years, and why I still don't talk to most of my dad's side of the families, because they're extremely racist and they're always making racial slurs, remarks, putting people of color down, and not just people of color, other minorities too, including gay people. But that's what bothered me the most, because I was raised to make jokes like that and to act like that, but I knew that it wasn't right. And that's why I've set myself apart of it. So instead of, inheriting that and letting that influence me, I set myself apart of it because it was toxic. And I'm so glad that I did, because I feel like I'm on a better path now, and I feel like I'm doing the right thing,
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I needed to say that. It just bugs me so much, because everyone's always like, man, why don't you talk to your family that much? You don't seem like, you're always with your family and all. And that's why, because they're just toxic. And sometimes it's okay to cut toxic people out of your life, whether they're blood or not, because it's just, if it's negative, it shouldn't be in your life. It's not good for your mental health.
Yep.
No. Yeah. That's a good way to end off on a good note for an episode.
Yeah. Quite depressing, but a good way to end off.
Basically. What we're all about, leaving it open on a good note,
it leaves it open for discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here for, talking, enjoying, and just an honest and open and raw podcast.
Soul.
Soul, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to this channel. And if you're watching this on the Soul podcast channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button, the little bell next to the subscribe button, and you will be notified, hopefully, if YouTube does its job, of any new podcast episode. That shade, though.